Hello, everybody, and welcome to WOW 11. I am Paige Hattie, the director of Mobius Connect, and I'm pleased to welcome you to this morning's session. So today we have the way to truly easy condition monitoring presented by Dudek of Schaeffler. So we've got a great presentation in store for you today. I'm really excited for you guys to enjoy it. If you have any questions throughout the webinar today, go ahead and drop them in the question panel on your webinar screen. And if we have some time at the end of today's session, I know Daniel's looking forward to answering your questions. So without further ado, I'm going to bring on the man of the hour, Mr. Dudek. How are you?
Hi, I'm fine. Thank you.
Welcome, welcome. All right. So Daniel, I'm going to go ahead and pass things on over to you in here. All right. Okay. Looks like you're good to go.
Great. Thank you very much. First of all, thank you very much for your time to join this session. I really appreciate it. The topic of this session is the way to truly easy monitoring. And before we start, I would like to give a few short facts so you know who the guy is that you're listening to. My name is Daniel Dudek. I am with Schaeffler now since 2007. And now I'm in the product management team, and there I'm responsible for our condition monitoring expert service portfolio. We call this expert service, and basically this involves everything where our engineers, our condition monitoring experts go out to the customers or also remotely provide any kind of service. I also had a lot of experience in the field. For over 10 years, I also did these monitoring jobs, also did my ISO cut level 2 at that time with Mobius. And yeah, for this session, my colleagues and me have put together 3 tips for you to consider when planning a condition monitoring program that will make your day-to-day machine monitoring tasks a lot easier. But before we start with that topic, I would first like to introduce you once again really quick to Schaeffler Lifetime Solutions. You may know Schaeffler as one of the largest bearing manufacturers in the world, providing bearing solutions and linear guidance systems for the industry, and also a multitude of different products for the automotive sector. Our customers come from a range of industries such as wind sector, mining, steel production, cement, food and beverage, and so on. Basically everything where you have some movement, where something is rotating. But no matter what industry they come from, we equip them with our innovations for pioneering motion. What's more, we create innovations to extend the lifetime of these solutions. And with over 100 years of experience in the bearing business, we have earned the experience it takes to add value to every stage of the solution lifetime. From the moment one of our solutions is installed to how it's operated and maintained, Schaeffler Lifetime Solutions has a full portfolio of solutions and services to support maintenance teams and managers. Called Schaeffler Lifetime Solutions, the portfolio includes products like mounting tools and services, as well as solutions for condition monitoring and also lubrication. But the lifetime does not end there, of course. Schaeffler also offers remanufacturing services to extend the life cycle of bearings and expert services to optimize the use. So that's how we add value over the lifetime for our customers. Let's start into the topic. I mean, you may know this or a similar situation. You need to monitor one or multiple assets at your plant or at a customer site, and you need to set up a plan or a project on how to do this. So this is the large scope. And typically, you wouldn't not approach this or basically any other task by simply grabbing the first tool you find lying around on your desk or in your workshop and start going to town with this. This approach would, of course, result in a hard time finishing the job and quite unsatisfactory results. In fact, you would do it exactly the other way around. You would first analyze the exact task that needs to be done, and then look for a tool, process, or practice that fits the job. Which then helps you, of course, get the job done as easy, efficiently, and professionally as possible. And this, of course, also goes as well for the condition monitoring of machines. Depending on the application, the environmental conditions, and the history of your assets, a multitude of factors have to be considered and taken into careful consideration when setting up your strategy. So when you do this, first, of course, you must know precisely what you want to monitor. You need to analyze the task. You need to know what you want to monitor. You need to know what you want to learn about the machine, which, if done correctly, is in itself already a quite complex task. Of course, the old saying fully applies here: garbage in, garbage out. So if you are not looking at the correct measurement parameters or the correct machine part to be monitored, you're already sailing in the wrong direction, and this could already make or break the success of your whole condition monitoring program. A lot of these aspects that you have to consider are defined by physics, like engineering principles, safety regulations, and also processual requirements of this specific machine or asset. And these are factors that you sometimes simply cannot change or influence. You must know your way around these. And this is where institutions like Mobius come in and help to get the knowledge about this. But should this already be a problem, there's also another solution for that, but more on that later on. So once you have solved this task and you know what you have a clear goal in mind, and you know what you want to do, then you start looking at the how. So how do I monitor this asset or machine that is on my task list? The practitioners among you know that this can also become quite a tedious task, but this also can be solved with time and knowledge and experience. And once you solve these two portions, you're already a good on the way. But then the next challenge awaits, and that's the finding the most efficient, professional, and easiest way to achieve your goal. And also here, there are countless paths to reach this objective. And this is actually where it becomes really interesting, also for me as a product manager, because here you must exercise caution, because while some solutions that you find by looking might appear promising on paper, and let's say the raw feature list that you see on the technical product information may seem to match your task perfectly, the reality oftentimes is that the actual user experience can be quite the opposite. And what do I exactly mean with user experience? Here I have some, let's say, negative examples of a user experience. In this case, of everyday items or tools. These items or tools, at first, they appear to get the job done. But if you examine closer and think about how you would use it, you realize that you will have a really hard time to achieving your goal of, I don't know, sweeping the floor or staying dry while reaching a destination or drinking a sip of coffee. So this is really the core of user experience. These are extreme examples, of course, but unfortunately for many, this is their day-to-day reality with some tools or solutions that you and me use. And And the key is here that they are more difficult to use than it's really necessary. And the main reason, or one reason for that, is also the lack of user centricity and focus on ease of use during the development phase of the solution. So this is always what we have to keep in the back of our heads while developing and while creating a product. In contrast, here's a best practice example. So this is taken from nature. This visibly indicates when it's safe to use. So it goes from green to yellow, has an ergonomic handle, and it even ships with a form-fitting case that is also biodegradable. And although all of this sounds like a no-brainer, of course, it needs to be easy to use, especially if you look at professional applications and professional problem solving. A lot of the times, this user centricity is often neglected when you look for a solution. So it's not on the top list when you have like it needs to have this and that many channels, this signal resolution, this storage and connectivity options and stuff like that. So it's not on the top 5 list of features that most people look at. But it does not have to be this way. It does not have to be more complex than necessary. That's why our first tip, our first takeaway would be to really take care about usability. That means you need to ask yourself questions like, does the solution match the expectations I set for example, monitoring system in 2023? So is it up to date? Do I have the confidence in the usage? And does the system match the logic of the rest of my automation, or is it completely outside of anything I have already in use? In short, would I like to use this system on a daily basis for years to come? So this is basically the essence of the first tip. And now I'll reflect on our work at Schaeffler Lifetime Solutions. We take great pride in developing our products, focusing on ease of use and for especially user centricity. On the first slide, there was a very handsome gentleman. This is called Tom. This is our avatar for all the products we design. So we have a clear user in mind for example, for condition monitoring programs or software and also products. So we always reflect how would a user like to use it. And that's a very important step in the development process. But the important thing is also to do all of this without compromising on the set of features, flexibility, and professionalism. So it should be easy to use and it should be intuitive, but it should not lose or lack the feature set. That's why we try to simplify complex processes and tasks, condensing them into an easy to use and pleasant solution so that the user in the end doesn't have to worry about dealing with this intricate configurations. We have made it as easy as possible for the end user to achieve optimal results in the most convenient manner. And that's why, as I said, drawing from our decade-long experience with condition monitoring, we have integrated our expertise into solutions like ProLink CMS and Optime. These are 2 of the products that are in our lineup. And here, as I said, we have gone the extra mile to developing and during development to ensure that the end user doesn't have to go this extra mile. I'd like to take 2 minutes to introduce you a little bit more into the ProLink CMS monitoring system and why it is the Pro for you, as we call it. It would be this unit here. So first of all, what exactly is the Schaeffler ProLink CMS? As the name implies, it's a professional-grade condition monitoring system that stands out for its user-friendliness and even ensuring not tech-savvy users can effortlessly navigate the systems and harness its full potential. So this was always the guiding star behind the development. We have some other, let's say, professional labeled things we want to stand out. Even though it's designed to be very user-friendly, it gives you professional insights, not only offering the possibility to integrate a vast number of infrastructures for data exchange, like Profinet or any other Modbus TCP or something like that, it also packs a computational power to quickly process the data at industry-leading quality. And of course, we also provide appropriate expert tools, software expert tools for in-depth data analysis, root cause detection, and data correlation. We continuously work together with users internally within Schaeffler, but especially with the external, with our customers, to see what features do they need, how do they use it. We do user studies on how they actually behave in the software and stuff like that. So there's we put a lot of effort into maximizing the workflow efficiency of these tools. And we know that there are a lot of measurement jobs that require incorporation of many different measurement conditions, triggers or additional signals, for example. So ProLink allows for sheer unlimited configuration possibilities that make it fit for everything basically you throw at it. So you can, it's not completely unlimited, of course, as no system is, but we haven't found a case yet where we found the boundaries of that. And of course, as we are in the age of notifications, everything has a notification now. You can also individually configure when and where you want to be notified about what, like alarms, changes in condition, or system messages. So this is also part of ProLink. On the hardware side, ProLink is not designed as a one-size-fits-all solution, so you don't take it out of the shelf and install it somewhere. Instead, we made it a modular system. So also the hardware setup can be exactly suited to the monitoring needs of this specific application. So it stays flexible and also can be extended or reconfigured at any time in the future. Plus, this is, from my point of view, a very nice feature. You can also mix and match the ProLink system with other condition monitoring systems from Schaeffler, like Uptime and SmartCheck, for other applications, depending on your actual demand profile. But more on that a little bit later. And last but not least, fitting the topic of this kind of session, at the heart of ProLink, you will always find the focus on intuitive user experience. Even though it's very, very powerful and highly customizable, we managed to bring a system to the market that is still intuitive and doesn't need extensive training. So we also have online simulators of the user interface online, so you can play around with it and see if it fits. Again, for coming back to the tip number one, play around with the tools and see if it really fits your expectations. And if you need any help at any point for any kind of task, basically, of course, we are offering corresponding expert services from our experienced CM experts that can then assist you along the way. May it be technical support, or also application support, or also, of course, analysis support. As I mentioned, the ProLink is also part of the Uptime ecosystem, so it can integrate with other Schaeffler solutions. This is a bit crowded picture. I will explain it a little bit more, but not too deep in the next few minutes. But just so you know that there is really a lot of connectivity. And this also brings us to the next topic, connectivity. In our fast-paced world, every passing moment, numerous systems generate endless data streams. You all know that. If you look at for example, a mid-sized paper mill, where measurement data alone can amount to hundreds of gigabytes daily, from sensor data to production lines to maintenance logs and also environmental metrics. So this is a quite large amount of data. And this data originates from various sources and also often ends up in different databases or systems. So you have different piles of data that are, of course, also necessary. This in itself is not critical. You, of course, need data segregation at some point. This is how smart factories typically operate to, for example, I don't know, preserve data integrity and secure data storage and so on. But this staggered distribution of maybe critical information for you can become quite a headache if you want to transform all of this information, all of this data, into something useful. If you want to get a picture of your plant, if you want to see the whole picture. So searching for relevant data across this multiple platforms and this is what it is in the end, is like searching for needles in haystacks. Nobody really wants to do this, I think. So when planning your condition monitoring program, the tip would be to aim consolidating as much relevant data information as possible in one place. Also, this is not a rocket science, of course, but basically by centralizing multiple condition monitoring data sources into one or a well-known consolidated location, you unlock a treasure trove of benefits that significantly ease and streamline your job on a day-to-day basis. Firstly, of course, it eliminates the need to go on a wild goose chase searching for scattered information in different places every time you need something. Your task becomes more efficient and you stay focused. You no longer have to waste valuable time navigating various systems and also learning various user interfaces and stuff like that. I'm sure we all know that. And secondly, by combining those data sources, this offers you a more holistic view on your assets. So it's not just simple or single isolated data sources, but you get a more holistic view. The more data streams you converge, the easier it gets to generate comprehensive insights. And this integrated perspective then allows you to uncover potential patterns and correlations that might have remained hidden when you examined this data in isolation. And thirdly, this centralized repository promotes better data analysis and decision making because by being able to easily compare data across different especially timeframes, for example, or equipment types or locations, you gain benefits in detecting anomalies like predicting potential failures and planning maintenance more effectively. I'm sure we all know just by combining, you don't solve all the problems at once, of course, but this makes it a lot easier. By consolidating these various condition monitoring data sources, you can definitely simplify your job, gain a comprehensive understanding of equipment health, and enhance your ability to make informed decisions. So this would be tip number 2. And I very briefly showed you this, what we call Uptime ecosystem. I think you can guess by the name what this means. The ecosystem is something where more products, more parts work in combination with each other. And one example for this kind of combined data collection is an ecosystem like this. So our ecosystem was basically designed to be easy in every way. We also call it 4 times easy. It consists mainly of our award-winning solutions for both condition monitoring and also smart lubrication that you can see here on the screen. It offers all the combined benefits and is also easy to set up. So we have wireless monitoring of your machines and wireless smart lubricators with wireless data connectivity. It's also simple and cost-effective. I will go through the points real quick. So as I said, it should be easy to start. And again, I have to rephrase tip number 1. We put very, very much effort on the user centricity. I know plug and play is a buzzword these days, but really with Uptime, you need a smartphone and the sensor, and it's wirelessly connected, so you can get hundreds of sensors up and running in no time. It's, of course, as I said, also easy to use. So we have an app that also won the Red Dot Design Award, and the whole solution won the Red Dot Design Award. So we are pretty confident that this is a easy-to-use solution. Whether you're a beginner or an experienced user, you will find your way around there really quickly. It's also easy to scale. So we use a mesh network. So as soon as you as soon as you add new sensors or lubricators into your system, everything balances itself out. You don't need to run wires and stuff like that. I'm sure you all know the benefits of wireless monitoring. And also, it's actually quite affordable. So it's easy to profit in the end. The solution in itself offers you the possibility for a quick return on invest, as it's very cost efficient. And this is the fourth easy of our 4 times easy. Uptime offers you also actionable insights to your machine, so you will get an automatic analysis. But the nice thing here is, and especially for me as a product manager of our expert services, as I mentioned, we also do offer expert data analysis by our condition monitoring experts. This whole ecosystem enables us to also look deeper into the data. So we have those expert analysis tools that I mentioned by integrating ProLink, for example. We have different user interfaces. We have the app, we have a web view, but we also have something called Expert Viewer, which is a expert analysis software that is tailored to the specific needs of vibration analysis experts. And there you basically have all the tools needed to go into depth, even on the, let's say, data that has been received wirelessly from uptime sensors, from the uptime ecosystem. But uptime isn't just about hardware and digital services. As I mentioned already, Schaeffler Lifetime Solutions teams consist of experts from various disciplines, including condition monitoring. And for the past, well, basically more than 25 years, we had our 27th anniversary last year, so almost 28 years going in. We have proudly provided our condition monitoring expert services to customers worldwide across different industrial sectors, whether on land, at sea, or even underground. And the experience gained from these endeavors has been incorporated into our products. So everything that you buy from us, you can be sure that this has been made with the customer in mind and also based on actual hands-on experience. We are not only data engineers, but we are engineers with real hands-on experience for more than 2 decades, and also proudly associated with one of the world's largest and oldest bearing manufacturers. And of course, this also brings its own benefits, being part of such a remarkable corporation. This grants us access to a vast global network of experts dedicated to perfecting specific aspects of bearings and specialized applications. So this knowledge, this treasure trove is priceless and really indispensable. Also for us, if we look into applications, there is always somebody at Schaeffler that has spent their whole professional life, like 20, 30 years, on this one aspect of a bearing, on this one aspect of a, for example, on in the wind sector. Well, this is really, really great backup for a lot of applications. And this brings us to realization that may come as a total shocker. Nobody knows everything, especially when dealing with complex tasks like monitoring production critical and intricate machinery. It's simply impossible to comprehend every single dimension of the application and condition monitoring. So even addressing the first question, I mentioned this, we asked ourselves at the beginning, what do I need to monitor? This can also become quite tricky and fraught with potential stumbling stones. So therefore, the third tip to truly easy monitoring, to make your life, to day-to-day life easier, would be, don't be afraid to ask for help. Whether you lack just the time to develop or to delve deep into this specific topic, or you are still gaining experience, seeking assistance, fostering connections, and also embracing continuous learnings are always crucial steps towards progress and improvement. Collaborating with your colleagues within your team or the corporation or your network, this of course can provide valuable insights and also different perspectives. This is also very important. And this also fosters a culture of continuous knowledge sharing and growth. And by acknowledging that there's always more to learn and that seeking help is a sign of strength, not weakness, it's really relying on the expertise of certified and also accredited service providers like Schaeffler Lifetime Solutions can also be a game changer, because you can then, of course, get their experience and knowledge. This can greatly contribute to your success. As I mentioned, our team of seasoned professionals has decades of experience in condition monitoring and a profound understanding of the challenges that various industries face. This is a collection of some of the, let's say, marketing pictures that we always like to show, but these are really taken during actual applications, so it's not something that's made up. That's why, basically, by engaging with service providers like us, you gain access to a wealth of knowledge, best practices, and also cutting-edge technologies tailored to your specific needs or the specific application. The dedicated experts are there to guide you through the process, address your concerns, and help you also make informed decisions that optimize the performance and also the reliability of your machinery. And of course, we can't be the experts of your specific asset, but always with this back information, with the information and the access to all this knowledge within the Schaeffler corporation, we then can really help you along the way. In conclusion, embracing the fact that no one possesses all the answers and seeking assistance when needed can be a game-changing approach to condition monitoring. So this would be tip number 3. And to basically sum it all up, I want to go through the 3 things once again. So the first one was you have to take care of usability. So make sure that this is really a solution that you want to use. Try it out. I really mean it. Try it out and play around with it. If you can get your hands on a demo unit or have a pilot somewhere, I know that this is typically the way it's done, but really play around with it. Try to use it. See what you can get out of it. Do you like to use it? If no, is there any possibility to change it up? So this would be one of the core information of this tip. Second one, connectivity. Make sure that you combine as much data that is relevant for you in one source that is, again, easy for you to use and access, so that you really have the possibility and the opportunity to go in there and find out what you want to know. These 2 tips go basically hand in hand. And the last one, don't be afraid to ask for help. As I said, nobody knows everything. It's always good to talk to people. And I know this, and I heard it from some customers, this got lost a little bit along the way over the past years, where some people were in home office and you don't really see the colleagues. And every time you want to ask somebody something, you have to set up a Teams meeting or a Zoom call or something like that. This got more and more important over the past, let's say, 2 or 3 years. This would be our advice for 3 tips to be on your path to truly easy monitoring. And as I said in the beginning, this is not rocket science, but I think it's always nice to get these back up and really remind ourselves of what is also important, and not just look at statistics and the actual data sheets and does this compare A and B, which is better compared to the data sheet. So really just play around with it, make it so that it fits your work. I also introduced some of the products. If you want to know more about these products, here's a QR code. You can, this side is a QR code. You can scan this. This brings you to our landing page of Schaeffler Lifetime Solutions. You can also just Google Schaeffler Lifetime Solutions or ProLink CMS. They will get a lot of information. We have a lot of videos on the products. As I said, for the ProLink, for example, there's also the possibility to play around with the user interface. You can check if your configuration that you want to set up right now maybe can be solved with a ProLink. So you can try it out for yourself. And also for the whole uptime condition monitoring and uptime smart lubrication, we have a whole a truckload of information on the homepage. So if there's anything that you still want to know, you can go there, or of course, ask directly. No, that was one too fast. Sorry. Because I have a question slide, and this would be the time when I could answer questions if there are any.
Perfect. Thank you, Daniel, so much for that great presentation. So as Daniel mentioned, guys, now is the time. If you have any hard-hitting questions, throw them at him, please. Go ahead and type any questions whatsoever in the question panel, and we'll use the remaining time here to make sure that we get those questions answered. Just as a quick reminder, your questions will be answered and read off anonymously, so nobody's going to get called out. Don't worry about that. And if we happen to not answer your question, we'll be sure to share those with Daniel so he can circle back with you once the webinar is completed. So that being said, Daniel, our first question here that came in while you were presenting, this person is asking, how can the advantages of visual inspection be incorporated into predictive maintenance?
So if you look at, I guess if you talk about visual inspections, it's like borescopies, thermographies. So, for example, what we like to do is offer like what brings a lot of value to the customer is a combined approach where you perform condition monitoring, for example, by vibration monitoring on a continuous basis, and nevertheless do regular visual inspections by borescopy, for example, on a regular basis, like every 6 months or every year, for example. And by that, as soon as something changes, you always have the on the one hand side, you have the actual data, where you, for example, can see, okay, in the vibration monitoring data, I saw that there is a beginning inner race defect on the main bearing of this asset, for example. And then by combining this information with a visual inspection, maybe borescopic inspection if it's possible, or thermography, you can always double down on this kind of information and also get more intricate details. For example, if you see a pitting bearing defect on a raceway, this visual inspection will then give you a clear picture what the current status of the damage is, how large the affected area is. You can also then increase the intervals of this visual inspection, and then track the damage really visually. So we've done this a lot of times, where when the maintenance engineer, for example, gets a spectrum FFT with some peaks or a trend that goes up by, I don't know, 100, 200, 300% in amplitude. This is always hard to understand, but if you show pictures that from 1 week or 1 month to another, there has been an increase of, I don't know, double the surface area of the bearing that has been damaged, and this is always something that gets more also more attention when planning the next steps. So to come back to the question, by combining your visual inspections into your predictive maintenance program, you definitely get another layer of information, and also very, of course, a visual and also very descriptive layer of information that will then make it not only easier to understand, but also gives you a deeper understanding of what is actually happening.
Okay, great. Thanks, Daniel, for that explanation. All right, so moving on here to our next question. This person is wondering, is your mesh network a proprietary network? And if so, what air interface does your gateway use to connect to the cloud? Wi-Fi, cellular, narrowband?
Let's start with the gateway. So the gateway comes equipped with a 4G modem. So as soon as you plug the gateway into your outlet or apply power supply, it connects via 4G to the cloud and establishes the connection. And the mesh protocol that is then constructed between the sensors, the lubricators, and all the other equipment and the gateway. This is a proprietary mesh network, which is called Wirepass. We have worked together with Wirepass as a technology provider in this case for the Optime system. It's a proprietary system, yes. But as I said, on the, let's say, communications side, to the cloud, we then have this 4G connectivity that is also there. Every gateway comes with a pre-installed SIM card, so it's really plug and play. So.
All right, great. These are some great questions, guys. Keep them coming. We love to see this. So next up here, Daniel, we have a question that reads, can the Optime system detect electrical faults with an AC motor? And then they're asking for an example of a bad rotor or stator winding or broken rotor bar.
Yeah, so the Optime wireless vibration sensors, as the name implies, they only have a vibration sensor, a triaxial vibration sensor installed. So there's no specific sensor for motor current or the electric field at the moment. However, as you may or may not have, or I mean, you can Google this. We currently partnered up with a company from France that offers technologies like this, and we are also looking to integrating this into our portfolio. I think this is no secret anymore, but right now the Optime sensor itself is only capable of recording vibration, the vibration signals, and if this broken stator or broken rotor bar, for example, should cause some vibration patterns, then of course we can detect it, but there's no additional, like another metric of sensor other than the vibration, and also a temperature sensor is also included.
Okay, great, thank you. All right, so our next question up here, this person is asking if the gateway can send the data to other clouds.
Okay, the Optime gateway can only send data to our cloud. So we do not offer like on-premise installations, for example, or you cannot change the target where the data is sent to. However, we do offer REST API access. So that means once the data is in the cloud, we then offer full access to this data via REST API. So you can then establish a cloud-to-cloud communication. You don't need to use our, let's say, front end that we offer, like the app or the dashboard and the web interface. You can have this all on your side, but the data always has to go through our server. And I think there are many reasons for that, but the most important reason is to keep it as a stable system and to be sure that the user experience in the end, as I mentioned, is as good as possible. But I didn't show this ecosystem diagram for quite a while, but on the homepage you can also find it. We do offer REST API access, which will then allow you to get all the data via this REST API.
Okay, awesome. Thank you, Daniel. All right, so it looks like those are all the questions we have for the time being. If anybody else in our audience has any more questions for Daniel, please use this time here to enter them, and we'll be sure to pass those along. But Daniel, would you like to share and reiterate how people can get in touch with you if they have any additional questions?
Yes, I don't have a slide for that, unfortunately.
No worries, I can pass it. So if people reach out to us, we can be sure to put them in touch with you. Are you up on LinkedIn?
I'm up on LinkedIn, yeah.
There you go. That's an easy one.
Okay, that's always the easiest way. I I don't think that there are other Daniel Dudeks at Schaeffler. So if